Hello all, I'm Mithun and welcome back to a brand new video. So many were talking about DSA, so there was a lot of requests to cover how to get started with DSA. So although I don't talk about DSA so much, but I firmly believe that DSA is something which every developer should focus directly or indirectly. Okay, so no matter any better developer, right? So what they are better at? So they are not better at remembering the syntax, they are better at solving problems, solving real world problems. Okay, again I will tell you what real world problems means. It's not the problem which exists in daily lives. Okay, so daily world problems and real world problems are different. Okay, we'll talk about it. And yeah, so and DSA is one of the best ways to evaluate your problem solving ability. How and why is what we are going to talk in this video. So we'll start with understanding what exactly DSA is and why is it so important? Why companies prefer DSA so much? Okay, and again the most asked question, which is the best programming language to start DSA? And I also have a clear roadmap. Okay, so with a lot of tips which we'll be talking in this particular video. So here the idea is to give you the knowledge of everything to get started, okay, and a clear pathway. So what is the least resistance path so that you don't end up messing up things. Okay, great. I hope the context is very much clear. Let's get started. So first things first, what is DSA? Okay, so now DSA stands for data structures and algorithms. Okay, it is made up of two parts, data structures and algorithms. Great. So now you have this idea. Now let's step back and let's talk about computers. So whenever you talk about computers, we say computers are very much powerful. I say computers are dumb but are powerful when instructed properly. Okay. Now computers are capable of doing so many tasks because of two superpowers they have. Okay. So again, they have a lot of superpowers, but at the core, so these are the two superpowers computers have. Okay, so one is the computing power. Okay, your CPU, the compute power, and then next is the ability to store, the memory. Okay, memory or storage. So these are the two resources or currency you have with computers, and you should manage them better. Okay, so that is where data structures and algorithms comes into picture. So imagine that DSA or data structure. First, let's talk about data structures. Data structures is like a option or a pool of boxes you have in which you can store data. So that's what data structures is. So now there are multiple approaches. Sometimes you want to keep some items in single box and scatter it at multiple places if they are not linked. Sometimes you want to keep them in a continuous order, okay, so that you can pick it up easily. So these are the choices you will make in data structure. Okay, that is what we are going to do in data structure. Now Mithun, why are we doing this? And in let's talk about algorithms as well. Algorithm is the way you are going to solve a particular problem. Like let's say I have a particular problem, how we are going to solve it. Okay, again DSA is all about choices, guys. Like let's say I have a problem statement in B. Let's take a real life scenario, not technical ones, the daily life ones. So my challenge is I should go from Bangalore to Delhi. That's my problem. Now I have a lot of ways. I can go through bus, I can go through my private vehicle, I can take a flight, I can board a train. So there are different options. Now everyone, every option is going to solve my problem. I'm going to anyway reach Delhi, but I have certain conditions. Like if I have more time and less money, I will go with bus or train. If I have enough money but less time, I will go or I will board a flight. Okay, so or I want to drive, then I will take my private vehicle. So see, we are doing trade-offs. This is what trade-off is. Based on our conditions, we are customizing the solutions. Same happens here. Whenever you are choosing some data structure, you are going to see what's my conditions. Do I have enough storage? What is my condition? Should I store it in a single order or should I scatter it? So you will have a lot of conditions, and based on this you are going to make a lot of trade-offs. Okay, so this is what data structures and algorithms is. So how better you will store the data is data structures, and how better you will make use of the compute is where algorithm comes. Again, both are interrelated. In algorithms also will consider memory, in data structures also will consider compute, but everything revolves around these two. Now, why is it so important? It is so important because it solves a lot of real world problems. Here, real world problems of optimization, okay, and efficient storage, and the third and most important part, which many of them ignore, is scalability. These are the three problems which DSA makes you ready, and this is why companies, especially like when you see big companies, big names, they will ask you DSA because of these three reasons. Because see, to solve a problem, there will be a lot of options, but what is the optimized way? Optimized way means which consumes less compute and the memory. Efficient storage, which uses the storage in the best way. It's not like I am storing in a less way, lesser. I am using less storage means it's efficient. No, you will have trade-offs. Okay, and next, scalability. What if a lot of data comes? So this is the problem which big companies solve. They want to be their systems to be scalable. Okay, so that is why companies ask more of DSA part. Okay, I hope now you understood what is DSA and why it is so important. These three things should be revolving around your mind every time you are solving DSA. Again, DSA is like a game for me. Okay, so it's a good gamification of learning as well, where you will have a challenge, you will choose, and you will solve. Okay, now it has become like a competition, so people are not enjoying DSA, but yeah, so I will give you some tips how you can enjoy DSA as well. Now, which is the best programming language to start DSA? So the best programming language to start DSA is, there is nothing as best. Okay. Again, whenever there is a discussion of best in software, get out of that discussion. That's my first suggestion for anyone. Because see, there is no definition of best. If something was best, why others exist? In software, it's not the best thing, it's what solves the problem. Okay, so there are a lot of problems. Each programming language is solving a different problem. Like when you say Java is solving a different problem. JavaScript, Python, okay, each comes with their advantages and disadvantage, and it all comes up to which one are you comfortable with, or what are you going to build with it. At the core, what is programming language? It's just to instruct the machine, right? Again, if you want to understand the whole scenario, you can check out the playlist. I have a video on getting started with computers as well. Okay, so you can check that particular video. Okay, now remember that there is no best programming language. You can do it in any programming language because it's problem solving indirectly. Okay, but the restriction with the portals. Okay, whenever you take up any online assessment round, right? So it happens majorly on HackerRank, Lead Code. Okay, these are the two platforms which many companies use. Others use their own as well. But let's take the generalized one. So just check if your programming language is available here or not. Again, it's not like just Java CPP. Okay, you have from C to Perl also in many platforms. So don't worry about programming language. Now, like, let's look into what is the roadmap. So this is the roadmap. If I were you, okay, so who is like starting for the first time, I would follow this roadmap. So the first thing I'm going to do is focus onto the foundations. This is very much important. Pick any programming language of your choice. Okay, I told you, right? Considering is it available on that platform or not. And first master the fundamentals, like what are the inbuilt data types, what are the operators, what are the methods available on those data types, what are the conditionals available, how to do loopings, how to create functions, and oops, whole in whole, you should have a good programming language knowledge. Mithun, how to verify if I have this uh, programming knowledge or not? So just have a tracker telling that, hey, so these are the concepts, am I able to implement it? Okay, because again, so whenever we say syntax is not important to remember, it's not about the remembering part, it's the way you are going to do things. So make sure you have all of the checkboxes clear, and you should be very much clear until functions or oops. Okay, so functions is must. So if it supports object oriented, then oops is also a very good thing to cover irrespective of the programming language. Now once this is done, should I directly go into problems, solving the problems? No. Next is to understand about computations. programming computations, what are the different notations available, how to do the complexity analysis. So you should know how to differentiate between a good code and a bad code. So that is what you are going to learn here. There will be some math involved, but don't worry, it's very much easier. So once you know this, you will know while you are writing code, are you writing a good code or are you writing a bad code. So I have put up this in the phase 2. Once this is done, now is the place where we enter the data structures again. So this is the data structures which you should master irrespective of any choice, be it of any level companies, they will focus on this. And as a developer, you will be using this more, so you should focus on this data structures like arrays, strings, hash map or sets, linked list, stack, queue, and recursion. Okay, now how to master this? See, any data structure you are doing, right? You need to focus on 5 things. First, you should know how to create the data structure. If it is supported inbuilt by the programming language, you can use it, or you should also know how to custom build that data structure. Okay. Next, how to read or iterate through that data structure. Next, how to update that data structure, and how to delete a part of that data structure, and what are the methods available. There will be different methods, like let's say insertion at the start, insertion at the end, insertion at the particular point. Some methods will be there. Same with updation and deletion. You should focus on 5 things. Once these 5 things are clear, then go to these platforms like LeetCode, HackerRank. Start with easy problems and upgrade as and when needed. Okay, we'll talk about the platforms, but this is the way. Focus on these 5 things. Great. Once these basic data structures are ready, now let's go into the algorithms, the basic algorithms. You should know the searching algorithms, sorting algorithms. There are various searching algorithms and sorting algorithms. This is very much important. Two-pointer approach or sliding window. Okay. So you would have heard that if you know recursion and two-pointer, you can solve off of the problems. Next, greedy algorithm, recursion with backtracking. So these are some of the algorithms you should master for sure, because these are something which are most asked and most used. Okay. Now once this is done, now if you are preparing for next level companies, or you have some experience, you should also master trees, graphs, and two data structures and algorithms like dynamic programming DP and graph algorithms. So once this is done, you are ready to take up interviews with any companies. Now Mithun, is this all? No. Let me share you some of the tips which many of them miss upon. So first thing is that whenever you are starting, don't start with the hard problems. Start with the step 0, not step 1 as well, step 0. Start with easy problems. You will have a lot of filters. Okay, so again, I will bring up another video so where I will show you how to lead code. Okay, so we'll go into lead code and see how it will be done. So start with easy problems and then move ahead. Don't directly go with intermediate or hard problems. Okay, motivation is also a very important thing. And then track progress. How many problems you are solving? Okay, what are the issues you have faced? What are the analogies you used? And what are the patterns you used? See, that's my last point. Maintain a GitHub repository of your submission with README files explaining what is your thought process, what pattern you used, so that this will help you in the revisions. Great. Next, once you are like, I am facing difficulty in tracking this progress, you have a lot of DSA sheets. Okay, every company has their own DSA sheets. Pick up anyone and start solving. Okay, now this is on your self pace. You should know what others are doing also. Where do you lie in the community? So take up weekly contests. Okay, and if you are thinking that, hey, I'm not able to connect it to real world, apply these concepts to your projects as well, because projects are also very important. It's not like just DSA will help you crack a job. No. And next, many of them will be like, Mithun, I am very much not consistent. So I have one rule. So follow the rule of 2. This says that, hey, I can miss one day, but I should not miss continuously for 2 days. One day you can miss. You have some college commitments, family commitments, something. But the next day you should not miss 2 days continuously. So with this, you will make this an habit. So these are the 6 phases, 5 phases, and this will be the general tips you should keep in mind whenever you are doing DSA. Okay, so I hope now you have a clear idea of what DSA is, why it is so important, or why people talk so much about it, and why there is no something as best thing in software, and the clear roadmap. Okay, again, I haven't talked about any particular platforms. We'll bring up a lot of videos on that as well. So do subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up if you have learned something new, and share your thoughts in the comments, and share this video to as many people as possible, so who are confused and need some clarity. So that's it, and I will catch you up in the next one. Thank you.